How rich is Kaitlyn Bristowe? In this episode, we are breaking down everything we know about how Kaitlyn is raking in the cash. Before we begin, just a reminder that if you enjoy our videos and would like to support our channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our upcoming content. We appreciate your support. Now, let's begin with a recap. We first met Kaitlyn when she competed for Chris Soules on The Bachelor Season 19, where she placed 3rd overall. Kaitlyn then went on to become the Bachelorette on Season 11, where she chose Shawn Booth as her final pick and got engaged. After 3 years together, the couple split up. Kaitlyn then went on to date and get engaged to fellow Bachelor Nation alum Jason Tartick. Now that we have a recap of Kaitlyn's reality TV background, let's talk about the many ways Kaitlyn is making money. Her job before reality TV fame. Kaitlyn is a trained dancer and has been dancing since the age of 3. When she lived in Vancouver, Canada, she was a dancer for the BC Lions CFL team as well as a spin instructor. It was while she was dancing that she fell in love with her hockey boyfriend and ended up moving around with him for his career, including a move to Newfoundland and Germany. She wasn't happy with the situation and eventually made the decision to return to Canada and moved in with her parents at the age of 27. After seeking treatment for depression, Kaitlyn was prescribed Valium, which initially helped but eventually led to her addiction. Kaitlyn describes how during this time she weighed only 93 pounds and was working in the restaurant industry. After kicking her addiction, she worked her way up from being a hostess to becoming a manager at Cactus Club and was considering going on to become a GM. That's when her best friend convinced her to send in an audition tape for The Bachelor, and the rest is history. The Bachelorette. As a contestant on The Bachelor, Kaitlyn was not paid for her time. However, once she became The Bachelorette, Kaitlyn would have been paid at least $100,000. Not bad for 2 months of filming. Dancing with the Stars. Kaitlyn joined Dancing with the Stars as a contestant on season 29. Kaitlyn was actually previously offered the opportunity in 2015, just as her time as The Bachelorette was coming to an end, but Kaitlyn alleges that the creator of The Bachelor blocked her from participating. Luckily, Kaitlyn ended up getting another shot at the show, and she ended up winning the entire competition. Not only did she win the Mirror Ball trophy, she would have taken home cash winnings of around $345,000. Contestants get paid for every week they make it on the show, and as the final winner, Kaitlyn would have taken home the biggest cash prize. Looks like all that previous dance training truly paid off. Dancing with the Stars Tour. Kaitlyn is currently on the Dancing with the Stars Tour, performing at 55 shows out of the total 66 scheduled. Her salary isn't public, but for Dancing with the Stars, the minimum amount of money contestants make is $125,000. So we would imagine that at minimum, Kaitlyn is being paid around this much. Hosting The Bachelorette. When Chris Harrison stepped down as host, Kaitlyn co-hosted Katie Thurston's season of The Bachelorette with Tayshia Adams, and also co-hosted Michelle Young's season. While we don't know either of their exact salaries, we do have information that would help us make an educated guess. We know Chris Harrison made about $8 million per year, but obviously he hosted 3 shows: The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, and Bachelor in Paradise. So that amounts to about $2.6 million per season. Also, Chris made this much money after years of hosting the show. Since it wouldn't have been an easy job to replace Chris Harrison, we are pretty sure Kaitlyn and Tayshia would have negotiated a lot of money. Since the highest paid Bachelorette to date is rumored to be Emily Maynard, who was paid $250,000, we would assume that as host, Kaitlyn would be paid at least this. However, we do suspect it was actually much higher. She's making some serious money on Instagram. Like many of her fellow Bachelor Nation alumni, Kaitlyn is making some serious money on Instagram. Kaitlyn currently has 2 million Instagram followers. Now, the industry standard rates for influencers tends to be about $10,000 for influencers with at least 1 million followers. And that's per post. So with Kaitlyn having 2 million followers, we guess her Instagram rate would be at least $20,000. Again, per post, people. Podcast host. Kaitlyn hosts her very own podcast called Off the Vine with Kaitlyn Bristowe, which gets about 1 million downloads per episode. Her pay rate is private. However, we will do a conservative estimate that as a podcast host, she would be pulling in at least similar payment as her Instagram posts. So we are going to predict she makes at least $10,000 to $20,000 per episode. Live shows. Kaitlyn has been on several cross-country tours where she makes intimate appearances, recording live her podcast, promoting her wine line, or just hosting a fun club event for Bachelor Nation fans. With these live shows, Kaitlyn could be making money in several ways, depending on how these tours are set up. If the tours are run by a third party, Kaitlyn will get a hosting fee and perhaps a cut of the ticket sales. Or if Kaitlyn has her own team organize the tours, she would be able to command more money through ticket sales and sponsorship, and of course, the extra promotion of her businesses. She's a businesswoman. Kaitlyn has not one but two businesses of her own. First, she has Do Edit, which sells scrunchies and hair accessories and has done really well. Kaitlyn has put out a total of 100 products and 9 collections, some of which have sold out in minutes. Her second business? It's wine. Kaitlyn's wine brand is called Spade and Sparrow, which is available in select stores including Walmart. YouTube channel. Kaitlyn has her own YouTube channel called 9 to Wine with Kaitlyn Bristowe, which currently has about 26,000 subscribers and approximately 1.2 million views. We took a look at her YouTube stats using a site called Social Blade. It seems like her YouTube channel isn't actually making that much money as a YouTube partner. Her daily video views are quite low, sometimes just a few hundred views, and the site estimates her yearly YouTube partner revenue of under $200. Now this could be because Kaitlyn's last video was posted over a year ago, so it doesn't really look like she's directing a lot of traffic to her YouTube channel. Other ventures. In 2017, Kaitlyn hosted a Broadway show called Home for the Holidays Live, and it lasted about 2 months. Then in May 2020, Kaitlyn dropped her very first single titled If I'm Being Honest. The country song entered the Billboard charts at number 21 the week it was released, and it also hit number 2 on the iTunes charts. Since these are one-off opportunities, we can't be certain how much money she would have been paid, but it seems like it wouldn't be as lucrative as her Dancing with the Stars gig or her Bachelorette hosting. Total net worth. Kaitlyn's total net worth is estimated to be around $3.5 to $5 million. We actually aren't too surprised at this because unlike her fellow Bachelor Nation alum, Kaitlyn has really diversified her sources of income by a lot and owns her own businesses instead of licensing out her name and image. By owning her businesses and hosting her own podcast instead of, say, hosting a Bachelor Nation podcast, Kaitlyn not only obtains more control over each revenue source, but she also would be potentially earning more. For example, ongoing revenue from her wine collection. Kaitlyn sure has come a long way from her CFL dancing days, and we cannot wait to see how Kaitlyn continues to grow her business empire. Bachelor Nation, thanks so much for watching this video. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, and don't forget to support our channel by subscribing. We'll see you in our next video.